Shadows in Brookhaven. The disappearance of Officer Danielle Harper. Brookhaven, Mississippi. Population, just under 12,000. The kind of town where your mailman knows your dog's name, and people still leave their doors unlocked. At least they used to. Officer Danielle Harper, 33 years old, was one of the most recognizable faces in town. She was one of only 2 black women on the police force, respected for her professionalism, and known for the warmth in her smile. In the mornings, she could be found grabbing coffee from Miss Ruby's diner, chatting with locals before heading out on patrol. Colleagues described her as sharp, dependable, and deeply rooted in her community. But on the night of Thursday, August 23, 2018, all that would change. Danielle's shift ended at 7:14 p.m. Surveillance from the police station shows her leaving the building in her personal vehicle, a silver Toyota Camry. She waves to Officer Jimmy Tate, who remembers her saying, "See you tomorrow." She never came back. By 9 a.m. the next morning, a County Road crew spotted the Camry on the shoulder of County Road 4. The driver's side door hung open. The keys were still in the ignition. Danielle's cell phone lay face down in the grass about 3 feet from the vehicle. Deputy Carla Ruiz, one of Danielle's closest co-workers, was among the first on the scene. She later recalled, "I knew something was wrong the second I saw the car. Danielle was careful about everything. You don't just leave your keys in the ignition out here." It was like she vanished in the middle of a sentence. Her duty weapon was in the passenger seat, loaded, safety on. That meant she either never had a chance to use it, or she didn't feel threatened until it was too late. Sheriff Tom Braddock called an emergency press conference that afternoon. He told reporters they suspected a possible random act of violence and were treating it as an abduction. The town rallied immediately. Volunteers gathered at the high school gym, signing in for search grids. Hunters, off-duty officers, and even teenagers with four-wheelers scoured the pine woods and creek beds. Helicopters from the state patrol swept the area with infrared cameras, but found nothing. In those early hours, there were no suspects, no signs of forced entry into the car, no witnesses who saw her leave the road. Detectives pulled Danielle's phone records and found something troubling. Multiple calls from a block number over the past 3 weeks, often after midnight. The tone of the calls was unknown, but the frequency raised red flags. Her best friend, Janelle Carter, told detectives over sweet tea at her kitchen table. "She told me someone from her past was back in town. Wouldn't tell me who. She just said, 'I don't want trouble at work.'" A second lead came from her bank. The day before she vanished, Danielle withdrew $8,000 in cash, nearly all her savings. There was no record of what she did with it. Investigators canvassed businesses along her usual routes. One gas station, 5 miles from where the car was found, had working cameras. At 6:52 p.m. on the night she disappeared, footage showed Danielle pulling up to pump number 3. Moments later, a man in a navy hoodie approached from a gray Ford F-150 parked near the side of the lot. The two spoke for roughly 90 seconds. Danielle kept her arms folded, glancing over her shoulder twice. She didn't smile. She didn't hug him. The man returned to his truck and drove away. The truck's plate was traced to Earl Jennings, 41, a contractor in neighboring Lincoln County. Jennings claimed Danielle had asked him to give her a quote for porch repairs. He insisted their meeting was strictly business and denied any connection to her disappearance. But Detective Ruiz found something in Jennings' background that changed everything. He was the stepbrother of Marcus Bell, Danielle's ex-boyfriend from 6 years prior. Marcus had a history. He'd been arrested for assault in 2012 after a bar fight, with Danielle as the responding officer. Their breakup had been messy, with rumors of harassment and threats. For nearly 2 weeks, the search continued with no sign of Danielle. Then, on September 6th, a hunter spotted freshly disturbed soil near the Tallahatchie River, about 12 miles from Brookhaven. Beneath the shallow grave was Danielle's body. The medical examiner determined she had died from blunt force trauma. Her wrists bore bruising consistent with being restrained. An adhesive residue indicated duct tape had been used. Crime scene technicians recovered a partial fingerprint from the duct tape. It matched Marcus Bell. Detectives brought Jennings back in for questioning. This time he broke. Marcus wanted her gone, he said. Said she was running her mouth, trying to get him in trouble. He told me to meet her, talk to her, scare her a little so she'd leave town. That's all it was supposed to be. Jennings claimed Marcus showed up unexpectedly at the meeting spot, argued with Danielle, and struck her when she refused to mind her own business. The situation escalated. They panicked, and Marcus told him to help move her body. Marcus denied it all, saying Jennings was just trying to save his own skin. But the fingerprint, combined with cell tower data placing Marcus near County Road 4 at the time of her disappearance, sealed his fate. The trial in early 2019 drew packed crowds every day. Danielle's fellow officers filled one side of the courtroom. Her family filled the other. Jennings testified against Marcus in exchange for a reduced sentence. He was convicted of second-degree murder. Marcus was convicted of conspiracy, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. During the victim impact statement, Janelle stood before the court. She fought for this town every single day. She deserved to grow old here, to be safe here. And instead, we're burying her because of two cowards. Danielle's funeral was held at Mount Olive Baptist Church. Officers in full dress uniform stood shoulder to shoulder as her casket, draped in the American flag, was carried out. The high school football game that Friday was canceled, a rare occurrence in Brookhaven. Her Camry sat in the sheriff's impound lot for weeks before her family retrieved it. Locals say County Road 4 has never felt the same. People drive faster past the spot where her car was found. Even now, when the summer air turns thick and cicadas hum in the pines, Brookhaven remembers Officer Danielle Harper. Not for how she died, but for how fiercely she lived.